Well, welcome back, Texas. So we are leveling up your health and your money on your Saturday, but we are also bringing great tips today for first-time home buyers, mortgage loan originators. Suzie Reed, who I hear has broken all of the records like year after year after year. Like at least break one record, people. One record. This lady's broken a record 15 times, 15 years. Okay, so we're gonna learn how to do that. But yeah, she's here to tell us about available programs. You do not want to miss out on these. They can really give you a big advantage in the real estate world.
Welcome to the show, Suzie.
Hey, Suzie.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here with us today. And you are with Rodney Anderson team at the NFM Lending. And if anybody can talk about mortgages and knows mortgages, it's you.
I like to think so. Really, my primary goal with y'all today and with our viewers is to take the fear out of the process. I think a lot of people are really afraid of the home buying process. I hold my clients' hands start to finish. I work with a lot of first-time home buyers. And the one thing I would recommend always, the biggest mistake people make is choosing their mortgage lender by going on the internet and finding who's the cheapest. Just like anything else, that's not necessarily the right person that you want handling the biggest financial decision of your life. So, choosing your lender, you want to listen to your real estate agent, talk to people, get referrals, look at reviews, find somebody that you can really trust that's local, that'll spend the time and educate you, knowledgeable, accessible. I answer my phone all the time unless I'm asleep. So, my clients know how to reach me. But that's my biggest number one tip is to make sure you choose your lender based on the right criteria and don't get sucked into things you see on the internet, because that is not the place to go looking.
There you go. That part. All right. So tell us some first time tips for home buyers that need to know about the home buying process. And that's a great tip right there. Don't find your lender online. What are some other things people need to know as they're considering buying a home?
The very first thing, credit is key. There are programs that are available that you don't have to have absolutely perfect credit. I think that's one of people's biggest fears is, oh, I had some problems in the past, or I've got student loans, so I can't buy a house. Set all those myths aside. The very first thing we want to do is look at a credit profile. You have to have credit to get credit. And, a lot of lenders will just say, hey, you don't meet the criteria and push you aside. I actually have an entire department in my company at NFM Lending called The Road to Home. So if the credit needs a little bit of work, I can guide along, but I also do have a team that specializes in that. So number one, credit. Number two, making sure when you call me, we go through the credit piece. Also, income, what you can qualify for and what you can afford might be two completely different things. Yeah. So that's the other fear. I don't think I can afford what I want. You don't know unless you ask. So that's a point where we really want to get together, discuss your needs, discuss what you want, and then we can kind of determine from there what's possible. And if it's not the right time, then we hold hands until it is.
So, Suzie, how do we even the playing field? How can people become more prepared so that these housing loans are improved?
I think, again, everything goes back to credit for a lot of people when it comes to preparation anyway. That's the first thing, when I think I want to buy a house, the first thing I need to do is take a look and see how do I look credit wise, because that's the first thing that they're going to look at. So really the best way to prepare is to take care of your credit. Don't miss payments to anyone. Make sure and try to keep your credit card balances down, because when credit cards are close to their limit, it really tanks credit scores. So a lot of people don't know that. You need to have them to generate the scores, but just make sure that you try to keep those balances down, because that is something that can affect. I contributed to authoring a book quite a while ago. It was about 15 years ago. It's called Credit 911. Secrets and Strategies to Saving Your Financial Life. That book is available on Amazon. It's a super easy read, and it really talks about how to navigate the credit system and how to make it work for you and what to do to get yourself in the right position. I think everybody graduating from high school should get that book, just as an aside. But the best way to prepare is to start working on that piece of it. Once you have your hands around that, it's really a relatively easy process from there. But that's a really great resource for people who just want to kind of see how it works.
Yeah, Credit 911. Get the book. So good. All right. And let's talk about the available programs we mentioned at the top of this segment for first time home buyers. What do they need to know? How do they get involved?
First-time homebuyers do have a lot of benefits. The primary thing is, down payment assistance. A lot of times when you're a first-time homebuyer, you're maybe living paycheck to paycheck. You may not have a whole lot of money in the bank to put 20% down. And it's a myth that you have to have 20% on a primary residence, because you don't. But the first-time homebuyer programs, I've got one that we actually lend the second lien, which is the down payment. So in other words, you've got your mortgage, and then you've got this loan for your down payment. This loan goes away after 3 years. As long as you live in the house for 3 years, there's no payments, there's no interest. It sits there, and then after 3 years, it is forgiven. So that's a really great program for someone who doesn't have a whole lot of money to get into a home. There's also 3% down programs for somebody who has a small amount. That can give you a little bit better terms as far as interest rates and payments and things of that nature. So there's a couple of really great options for first-time homebuyers, just to help them get their foot in the door without having to have a big amount out of pocket.
Wow. Now, I didn't know about the down payment forgiveness / additional loan. That's amazing.
Go to Suzie. Like, she's not only beautiful, she's sweet. She makes you feel super comfortable. And who doesn't want that? So guests, viewers, everyone, you know who to go to. Suzie. She's the one to go to. Yeah. So we're so grateful for your time today, Suzie. How can we go to Suzie? How can we connect with you and work with your lending team?
Well, my phone number is a direct. It's 972-985-2464. My website's very easy. That's a great place to start as well. It is Suzie-Reed.com. That's SUZIE-REED.com.
That's right. And of course, if you need a real estate agent, you already know our girl, Wendy. She's got you covered. And my goodness, you talk about the dream team together.
Great team.
You've got it all. What a match. I'm so happy to have you, Suzie, to meet you, Suzie. Big hugs. I know I'll see you sometime in Austin one of these days. So
that sounds great. Thank y'all so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Oh, we appreciate you so much. Well, we want to send a big thank you to all of our guests today. We had an amazing lineup. Leanne Alfaro, Suzie Reed, Allie French, Erica Stein, and of course our girls, Amanda and Alexandra, bringing so much fun today with their segment. So if you are ready at home, you're like, you know what? I'm ready to share my brand, share my business. I'm ready for TV. You can join us. Find out how at theconnectonline.com or on Instagram. Keep up with us at the Connect Network.
Yes, Natalie. And also don't forget to follow all of our guests and our show hosts as well. And we will see you next week.